I shall have the heads, all your friends. Then I shall have your head. Ta-ta.
I am the Erasabeth, a brutal princess with a monstrous big head, whose favorite pastime is killing people. And everyone who mocks my big head ends up miserable.
Off with the head! Off with his head! Off with the heads!
You may think, how can someone as ugly and vicious as me be a princess and presume to inherit the throne? But you may have all forgotten that once upon a time, I was just a carefree little girl with a sweet tooth. Because of that accident, the hatred in my heart was inspired. So whenever I think of that desperate day, the resentment in my heart will increase by 1 more point. Thus, everything I did afterwards was revenge. I remember the extra sweetness of the fruit tart that night. I couldn't resist eating 2 more pieces, but my sister, Mirana, was displeased by it, and an argument ensued between us.
Long. There'll be no more tarts for either of you. Now out of my kitchen.
Mother didn't like our argument, but instead of favoring one of us, she kicked us both out, and I thought that was the end of the matter. But I didn't realize that my sister had secretly turned back and stolen the last piece of kofta. Perhaps knowing that her behavior was wrong, she actually ran to my room. I came back just in time to see it.
What are you doing? Nothing.
And before I could approach, my mother came in angrily, questioning.
No more tarts.
I didn't eat any tart.
But my mother just saw the fruit tart peel under my bed.
Why these crusts under?
The stern questioning reminded me of my sister's strange behavior just now.
She put them there.
Did you, Mirana?
Why should I admit to something I didn't do?
Tell her.
Did you eat the tarts and put the crust there?
I saw my mother's eyes turn to my sister again, but she was silent. When I asked her questions, eager to prove her innocence, my sister actually denied what she had done.
No. But you did, you're lying.
After my mother got my sister's answer, she turned to me and criticized me.
No, it's not fair. It's not fair.
That's not fair. Just because of my sister's words, my mother denied my honesty. It was clearly my sister who was in the wrong. I couldn't control my emotions anymore, and then suddenly my feet slipped and I fell and hit the flower bed. At that time, I only felt a headache, and then I heard a voice that said, my head swelled up. Since then, the nightmare that belonged to me began. Because of the violent impact on my head, it caused my body to stop growing. But my head grew bigger and bigger, and in just a few years, I went from a pretty girl to a big-headed freak. And my sister, Mirana, who caused my present miserable condition, became everyone's favorite princess. Looking at her beautiful face and listening to everyone's praise for her, my heart often wondered if I would have been prettier than her if nothing had happened. My parents, perhaps sensing my sadness, decided to confer the crown on me at the coronation ceremony. The moment I was looking forward to finally came, but the crown was made according to the circumference of a normal person's head, and the hatter couldn't put it on even after trying for a long time. And finally, the crown broke. Looking at the mocking expressions of everyone on stage, I angrily...
The next person who laughs will never laugh again!
But my bluff didn't scare them, because even my mother was blaming me.
However would you stop people from laughing?
The laughter from the stage got louder. I'm a princess. Why should I put up with the ridicule of others? So I threatened to cut off their heads. But who knew that my father would stand up and continue to rebuke me, not only saying that I had no qualifications to be a princess, but even going so far as to hand over the succession to the throne to Princess Mirana. That's not fair. The throne should have been mine.
I'm the eldest!
I should have been beautiful too. I should have been liked. Why should the culprit enjoy these honors in my place?
I hate you! Oh!
Since then, my relationship with Mirana has gotten worse. I began to build my own independent kingdom. I took in those who were not accepted by the world like me. I wanted to be loved like Mirana, but more than anything, I wanted to take back what was rightfully mine. We agreed to duke it out on Frab Juice Day, and I marched out with Jabberwocky in tow.
Where's your champion, sister?
A battle I had a good chance of winning, but I found Alice in Mirana's ranks. She actually abandoned me and threw herself into Mirana's camp. The betrayal of my friends saddened me once again, but the most important thing now is to win the battle. Alice's presence weakened us so much that I could almost feel the pain of my feathers being broken until I saw Jabberwocky's head roll down the steps. Not surprisingly, I lost the battle. and the subordinates who normally courted me all turned against me at this point. Sure enough, no one loves me, and no one is afraid of me. After being exiled to the end of time, I thought I was going to end my life in there. Little did I know that I would once again rebuild my kingdom here and accidentally find favor with time. When he found out about my tragedy, he prepared gifts for me every day to make me happy. But I knew that no one would ever truly love me, and I approached time with another purpose. He has the chronosphere that can travel through time, and if I get it, I will be able to go back in time and seek revenge on Marana. Hatred drove me to come to him every day just so I could get that chronosphere. Finally, one day, Alice stole it to save the Hatter's family. I looked at Alice's team that was running furiously in the distance and knew that they had found out the truth. Hatter's family was being held captive in my place, and as soon as they walked in, I could get the chronosphere and go back in time. I set a trap and watched them walk one step at a time, and finally, I got the chronosphere, held the others captive, and pulled Marana up in the chronosphere. Would you think I would have traveled back to Frabjuice Day and changed the tide of battle back then? You are wrong. Everyone is wrong. I care more about the truth of that year than winning or losing the duel.
Why are these crafts on your bed?
It's now. I watched as Marana wore the same heartfelt expression as she did back then.
Did you, Miwana?
You did. Tell her.
Did you eat the tarts and put the crusts there?
I just can't believe why she's still afraid to admit it. Overwhelmed by anger, I pushed open the forbidden door. The two temporal selves couldn't meet each other, and the corrosive power spread rapidly with me at the center. Alice also arrived at that moment, and seeing that things had become uncontrollable, she hurriedly urged Chronosphere to rush back to the Eternal Castle, wanting to put it back in its original position before the world was frozen. What I didn't expect was that the White Queen didn't abandon me, but dragged me away with her. With Alice's efforts and the magic power of the chronosphere, the world quickly returned to normal. Upon awakening, I realized that I was still the same. It turned out that no matter how hard I tried, the past could not be changed. Thinking of this, I could no longer suppress the grievance in my heart.
Oh, it's happened to me! Why does no one love me? I love you, Racy.
Was she comforting me? But I still couldn't take it. If she loved me, why didn't she tell the truth back then?
This is all your fault.
But I didn't expect her to admit her mistake.
I ate the tarts and I lied about it. I should have just told the truth and none of this would have ever happened. I'm so sorry.
I froze. It was all like a dream. She was asking for my forgiveness. Those were the words I had always wanted to hear. The hatred that had been building up inside for years dissipated in an instant. All I had wanted since the beginning was an apology.